Welcome to Books for Success. Today, we're delving into the wisdom within The Myths of Happiness by Sonja Lyubomirsky. Discover what beliefs prevent you from being happy. Learn how to rewire your brain to prolong your delight and notice opportunities in every crisis. You'll learn an antidote to boredom in relationships, pitfalls of achieving big goals, the correlation between wealth and joy, about the age of happiness peak. Before we begin, subscribe and ring the bell for notifications if you want to keep receiving the knowledge of book summaries about health, wealth, love, psychology, and much more. Don't be shy about dropping your book suggestions for us to summarize. Also, you can use this video as an audiobook summary. Let's grow and succeed together. Downfalls or goal attainment only partially determine our happiness. For most of us, happiness is predetermined by how society sees it. Thus, an average person should have riches, a great spouse and kid, authority, and a life free of challenges. All of this promises fulfillment and should ultimately lead to excitement. But when we fall short of obtaining these things, we experience failure, regret, and worthlessness. Some motivational books even promote this kind of view: achieve. Otherwise, you are nothing. Most people follow this happiness logic, hoping to have well-rounded lives, but it isn't enough. For instance, when a couple has been married and childless for a while, others might judge them for not having kids immediately. When they eventually have their firstborn, sympathetic strangers inquire if they have a car, another typical symbol of content life. In other words, as long as we keep following someone else's idea of happiness, these questions will offend us, impeding our enjoyment. Another misconception about our satisfaction with life relates to the idea, "I can't be elated when." Many assume that their world collapses when challenges and unwanted circumstances befall them. Partnerships, riches, a painful past, and getting old can be blessings or unfortunate events we must endure. It is our attitudes to them that matter. For instance, one person may treat their job loss as a disaster, while another sees it as a signal to begin the life they always wanted. So, your beliefs play a decisive role in your moral state, and you should harness them for your benefit. In the following chapters, you will discover happiness myths undermining your delight. Let's free ourselves from these limitations together. Lie 1. The right spouse will make me happy. Falling in love brings an immense boost of contentment followed by elation, even while doing routine tasks, like commuting to work or buying groceries. The wedding is another euphoric moment when a couple enjoys the new status of being married. Gradually, these feelings of extreme joy start to fade. Complaints mushroom and become dissatisfactions. Boredom becomes the core emotion. Uneasiness with the relationship grows. Thoughts that something is wrong with the marriage form. Yet often, the problem is not the choice of a spouse but expectations. Considering the right partner as a ticket to eternal happiness is a myth that can undermine the relationship. That's because it rests on the false assumption that love will always be the same as during the honeymoon phase. Yet the truth is that affection transforms from passionate, attraction and desire, to companionate, deep and meaningful connections, over time. Both are essential and carry different types of happiness. Another biological factor also contributes to boredom in relationships: hedonic adaptation, a phenomenon where a person adjusts to even the biggest blessings in life and starts to take them for granted, thus decreasing their joy. The good news is that you can lessen its impact by using the following tools. Appreciation. Once a week, take the time to ponder your spouse's strengths or sweet signs and actions. Jot them down as a list or a letter. Apart from slowing hedonic adaptation, appreciating will encourage your partner to continue signs of attention. Variety and surprise. Meeting new people, visiting novel cafes, or learning the ropes of something together makes you more focused as a couple, resulting in deepened emotions and stronger bonds. You can do a simple exercise to reach a similar effect. Find something different about your spouse daily for a week. The following are other helpful techniques to improve relationships. Celebrate your spouse's victories as your own. Research shows that sharing good moments is even more crucial for marriage than support during disappointments. Believe. Your words can be affirmations for your spouse and will encourage them to become the best version of themselves. Touch. A pat on the shoulder or hug increases warmth and intimacy. Lie 2. An unhappy marriage ends your life. Most people experience difficulties with their spouses, from decisions on when to have children to where to settle the family. When a couple cannot agree on things underlying their partnership, they may want to opt out. Some ponder divorce to express their emotions, at least in their imagination, while it becomes a goal for others. Although each situation is unique, often it's reasonable first to put in efforts to fix the marriage. It also prevents people from making hasty life-changing decisions. Sonja Lyubomirsky offers a few steps to repair a relationship. Increase the number of positive thoughts. The brain links up related thoughts and actions. That's why one spouse's sarcastic remark will make their partner recall misdeeds from 10 years ago. You can change the situation by increasing the number of positive memories and lessening criticism or ignorance. The new balance should be 3 positives for each negative. Choose another perspective. Replay a harmful conversation with your partner from an unusual perspective, for instance, how your dog sees it. Psychologists call it the fly-on-the-wall technique. Forgive. Forgiveness is powerful if your partner is genuinely sorry for the misdeed and isn't likely to repeat it. However, sometimes, the problem isn't rooted in expectations, attitudes, or beliefs. Some people suffer in marriage and avoid breaking it up because they fear being alone. Indeed, due to colossal life transformation, divorce harms physical and mental health. Nevertheless, you can always rely on your experience tackling previous problems to cope with this challenge. Besides, divorce isn't the only event that comprises life. Others will gradually overshadow scars from the past. A split-up can be a step toward a happier period and finding someone who suits you better. Some may avoid divorce, believing it would drastically affect their children. But the actual influence is more nuanced. For instance, seeing their parents fighting constantly or witnessing domestic violence causes a child to experience chronic stress. If divorce can provide them with a peaceful life, it may be the correct solution. On the other hand, if parents hide their true feelings and intentions, and news about their divorce appears from nowhere, their children could suffer as much as those who witnessed their parents' relationship falling apart. Lie 3. Having lots of money makes you happy. People often perceive amassing wealth as an accurate indicator of an exciting life. From afar, it seems the rich receive respect, can afford most of what they want, and cater to all dependent on them. Scientists partly proved the connection between affluence and joy. They discovered that it resembles two-way traffic where delight facilitates fortunes and vice versa. Therefore, those who experience enormous pleasure are likely to earn more. However, psychologists discovered that capital provides only a particular type of happiness. The rich mainly report they are content in general. Nevertheless, when asked about specific moments of joy, sadness, and hatred, they will hardly agree they were satisfied. The cause is not far-fetched: riches. As wealth increases, the pleasure it brings, such as a good living, withers. Instead, the harmful effects of distress play a more significant role. People find themselves fighting to maintain their income, experiencing the tension of the investment risk, and jumping into the struggle to attain a higher position or social status. Often, the rich do not appreciate the good feelings that come with minimal excitement, the little things of life. On the contrary, unsatisfied basic life needs, such as adequate shelter, meals, and clothing, make us highly appreciate wealth. Thus, even a tiny increase in revenue makes a low-income person feel elated, a rare feeling for those with abundant resources. The following steps will help the happiness you achieve with money last longer. Spend money on the right things. You might use finances to impress those around you, yet the joy of this consumption will be fleeting. Instead, improve your competence, networking, or autonomy. These are basic needs, so their satisfaction will ensure delight. For instance, learn a new language or buy tickets to visit friends in another country. Help others. Donating and giving gifts are proven ways to receive pleasure from money. Use your capital to have more leisure. Spend your free time on something meaningful, like meeting friends or traveling to a dream destination. Sitting in front of the TV won't give an emotional uplift. Prolong the happiness from a gift. The anticipation of attending an event often brings more excitement than the event itself. So exercise these feelings to your advantage. Lie 4. I will be happy when I achieve big goals. We can set ambitious goals and try to build our lives around them. However, making a plan does not guarantee its successful implementation. Many of us think the joy of achieving certain feats, such as becoming a millionaire or billionaire, acquiring the house of our dreams, and going on exotic vacations, will be tremendous. Indeed, when we succeed in achieving all these, we are happy. Yet, this feeling does not last forever, since the effect of attaining the desired things wanes with time. What if there is nothing left to wish for? There are reasons our sated feelings fade. Having achieved the life of our dreams, we enjoy this earned privilege at the beginning. However, with time, we get addicted to it and secretly want to revisit our initial excitement. Yet each singular achievement brings a unique joy. We cannot replicate it, even when such an event reoccurs. Accomplishing extraordinary feats, such as a stellar career, thriving business, and the like, is usually tiring and takes its toll. Nevertheless, the draining process is also full of excitement as we get closer to the source of our desire. But the delight is brief after achieving enormous heights. And when the thrill disappears, we feel like failures. Unfortunately, all humans function this way. They never think they have enough and continuously want more. Hence, they are always discontented, not enjoying what they have. Additionally, these great feelings fade when tremendous accomplishments bring about specific changes. For example, moving to a different place, changing usual activities, or getting more responsibilities. The truth is that stress goes hand in hand with attaining extraordinary feats, landing some people in therapy. Follow these simple steps to make your happiness last longer. 1. Remember the start position and focus on your growth. 2. Start a gratitude notebook and write down the opportunities you have. 3. Work with your expectations. Striving for the ideal, unachievable by default, undermines any joy. Lie 5. I can't be happy when my medical test result is scary. Receiving test results showing disease or a developing condition is always distressing. Medical practitioners try their best to put forward such news so it does not leave their patients hopeless, knowing that such events can negatively affect many lives. Nevertheless, we are yet to understand that we still control our lives in such situations. We decide our fate. This simple awareness can be a turning point. After receiving the sad news of failing health, we have two options: keep thinking about how our lives have fallen apart due to the illness, or shift the focus to other spheres, such as maintaining great relationships or developing a particular talent. How does it work? We cannot keep a steady focus on different things simultaneously, which is nature's way of keeping us mentally stable. Our choice, consciously or unconsciously, is to pick what we want to dwell on. It grows and becomes part of us while other aspects fade away. So, we should nurture our optimistic thoughts. We don't need to win the lottery to feel joy. Little happiness triggers are more valuable, as we can organize them as often as we wish. Yet the challenge is that we often don't notice things that bring us delight, curiosity, or calmness. Therefore, the first step is to keep track of our emotions and their triggers and detect those that are easy to repeat, like a sip of wine, a favorite theater play, or a day off. This habit contributes to our mental and physical health. Pleasure boosts the immune system. Additionally, finding purpose is a potent tool for improving our well-being. Fortunately, the older we become, the more meaning we see in our lives. Its level rises until age 35, plateaus, then increases after 45. Did you know? The frequency of positive events is much more critical to our health than their intensity. Lie 6. Getting older makes happiness impossible. We all value our younger years, and many of us tend to regret that they have passed and perceive nothing spectacular awaiting us in the future. Some feel this regret weekly or monthly, while others feel it occasionally. The critical question is, can we pinpoint our most significant stage of life? Many try to do this by analyzing their recollections from the first moment they can remember to the point they are in now. Then they select the most remarkable part and take a trip down memory lane. But this approach is not entirely accurate because we are not objective when reviewing the past. Research proves we recall the old days as more exciting than they were. Many people have already mapped out how they want their lives to run, so they eliminate events that are not in tandem with their ideals, though they indeed happened. If you look back to the time you had the most memorable experience and scrutinize it, you will see that sad and angry events also happen during that period. What, then, is the way out? Lyubomirsky suggests two ways of thinking soberly about the past, through endowment effects and contrast effects. The first looks at previous events using a positive lens of how they improved your life and how you enjoyed them. The latter focuses on comparing these episodes to the present from the view that you cannot experience joy again, ultimately leaving you sad. Additionally, scientific studies confirm that people are more satisfied with their lives as they age. The exact point is still debatable, yet the newest data place it at ages 64, 65, and 79. Why? The first reason is that aging motivates us to value time more. Thus, we appreciate the present moment and worry less about something we cannot change. Our experiences facilitate this process since we become more emotionally stable and mature. Besides, older people have a positivity bias. They quickly see the strengths of others and the advantages of situations. This feature may stem from training the mind to maintain a good mood. Another reason is biological. Brain structures that account for negative feelings age faster. Conclusion. We tend to concentrate on things others think would benefit us. Thus, society commands us to wish for more money, better looks, eternal youth, and a perfect family life. Ironically, many people give in to the pressure and set goals they might not even want to have in the first place. Another crucial factor that commands our distorted view of happiness is fear. We fear getting older, our health gradually weakening, and contracting terminal illnesses we won't be able to cope with. First of all, we must always choose what is best for us. Growing up, many of us learn what we should want from our parents, as they are usually the ones planning our lives. So, remember to doubt even if you manage to get into a comfy trap where everything is decided for you. Question the goals you attained, by default. Secondly, fear is not your enemy. It is a powerful mechanism that signals something is going wrong with your life. Use it, don't run away from it. Try this. Think about whether you have any goals for the near future. It can be 1 or 5 years, the period does not matter. Try to come up with at least one realistic aim. Now, let's analyze it. Ask yourself these questions. 1. How long have I wanted to do or get this? 2. Why do I want this? 3. Was it I who thought it was a good idea to do or get this? 4. How will I benefit from it? 5. How likely is it to make me happy? Thanks for being part of our insightful voyage. If our summary piqued your interest, we encourage you to dive into the complete book for a deeper understanding. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe for more content if you're new here, and share it with others who might find it valuable. Keep on reading, discovering, and advancing until our next adventure.